Yeah, I would never interrupt the story, but I have breaking news. We have an update on Aaron Rodgers. I want to get that to everybody right away. An MRI confirmed today that Aaron Rodgers has officially tore his Achilles on the fourth play of his Jets career. Rodgers' season now officially is over. There are questions about whether his Hall of Fame career is as well.
That's a very tough injury. That's one of the toughest injuries to overcome, even for a young man. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers is going to be, 39, 40, trying to overcome this. And he was uncertain. I think Matt can attest to this. He was kind of uncertain whether or not he wanted to play this year. Now it's not like you're training. You have to rehab. Rehab is different than training. You're trying to rehab just to get back to normal, where when you train, you're trying to put your body in a situation that you're going to be in during the season. That is a very, very tough injury to overcome. And I don't know if he's wanting to put that kind of time in. Yeah, rehab, because I want to have some type of normalcy with my life moving forward. But do you want to rehab? Do you want to make that kind of commitment, Stephen A., in order for you to come back 4 plays into your tenure with the New York Jets, and this is what it's.
I asked this for both of y'all, and Pat, you can answer first, and then you, Shannon, and you can take it wherever you want to go. I just want to know, how long is the rehab from this injury? Is it 18 months? Because if it's like 18 months, that's not just missing this season, that's missing next season too. Right. So I just want to know that. But go ahead, Pat.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, Stephen A., what the rehab is for that. And to Unk's point there, I don't think anybody talks about how miserable rehab is after surgeries. It is not fun. It is lonely days. It is painful days. You got to live in hope and optimism, as opposed to the present, and the trainers and physical therapists that are putting you through it are literally trying to build your vibes every single day. It is devastating to hear that it's been officialized that he did tear his Achilles. And I understand everything that everybody's saying about, he's 39, and there's a chance that he views this as a sign from the universe. He's always wanted to remain with one team. Now he goes to the Jets, 4 plays in, it's kind of ended quickly. Maybe he'll think it's a sign for the universe, but if you listen to him talk about football and his love for the sport and his competitive drive, I'm not sure, Unc, I'm not sure he's going to want to go out like that. But, I mean, there's so many questions still to be answered, I'd assume, from the Aaron Rodgers camp.
Well, I spoke to someone that had just adapted him up moments before he ran out onto the field, and he was so excited about being a New York Jet. He was so excited about being here and, like you said, the newness of it. But I talked to Stephen A. last night, and Stephen A. can attest to this. I had a doctor friend text me the moment he went down, and I showed Stephen A. the text. I said, the doctor told me it's his Achilles. And everybody said, nah, well, it's his ankle. I said, I'm just telling you what the doctor told me. He was the same doctor that told me that when Damar Hamlin was laying on the field, he said, Shannon, he's in cardiac arrest, even before they let it be known. So I'm like, man, but everybody's saying it's his ankle, it's not his Achilles. He said, Shannon, I'm telling you, it's his Achilles. And lo and behold, that's what I texted Stephen A. last night. I said, Stephen A., Robert Saleh said it's his Achilles and it's not good.
Yeah. We were at the game and he showed me the text, and then after we left the game and went home, he texted me late last night and said exactly that. And I'm just devastated from the standpoint that, being a native New Yorker, knowing so many Jets fans, knowing about Testaverde, the Chad Penningtons, and a litany of things, Pat, that you alluded to that has happened to the Jets franchise. And just being a native New Yorker, one thing after another, And I don't know if there was ever a time, even when Rex Ryan had taken them to back-to-back AFC Championship games, even when Bill Parcells had taken them to an AFC Championship games, I don't think there was ever a time where hope had transcended to expectations for the New York Jets the way that they did this offseason. And to have this happen literally on the first offensive series of this man's career, devastation is the word. It just is. It just is.
You talk to, hey, Stephen A., you talk to, sorry, Unc, you talk to any of the Jets fans, though, about the Aaron Rodgers, coming to be a member of the Jets and how great it was and everything? They were all, like, cautiously optimistic, Like, you even heard a lot of Jets fans that were like, it's the Jets, it's the Jets, it's the Jets. Something is going to happen here. you watch the game, they have a team. They just beat the Buffalo Bills, 3 turnovers on Josh Allen week 1. I mean, they got a team that could go on and win it. Aaron comes out with the flag, then I think Jets fans are probably like, this is real. This is reality. Right. We have a 4-time MVP as a quarterback with a team that is ready to go to the Super Bowl, and then for it all just to David Copperfield, poof, out of no. I mean, it is devastating.
Pat, we're in the stadium last night, and we leave the suite. And you saw people walking, and their eyes were red. They were crying. This is before we knew anything.
Right.
They were crying when they saw him come out of that blue tent. First of all, be helped off the field. Go into the blue tent, come out of the blue tent, and have to get on that cart in order to get a few feet. I mean, you saw people literally crying. Seriously, y'all.
But, Mac, you know how hard it is. As we get older, it gets harder and harder for the body to recover. That's why they say sports is a young man's game. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers, and he hadn't had a whole lot of serious injuries. Yeah, you broke his collarbone. I fractured my collarbone. I think he missed 7 weeks. I think he's had a few nicks. But you're talking about an 8 to a 12-month injury, rehabbing, which means he's not going to do a whole lot because he's going to be in a cast. He's going to be immobile for at least the first 3 to 4 months.
Go ahead,
as a guy, too, that, travels and, everything, I mean, there's just so many questions that he's going to have to answer. I would assume right now, and I have not chatted with him since the injury, but I've talked to some people in his very tight circle. I happen to know a good group of people in there. The way he is just as devastated as all of us, obviously. The amount he invested into this season. You heard Alex Smith talk about it last night on Monday Night Countdown because he's been friends with him for so long. This is the best shape he's been in. This is the most energized he has been in. He felt like he had real, I don't want to say sway or influence, but actual say in what was going on in the New York Jets organization, which was something that he yearned for a long time. Hackett, his offensive coordinator, we watch on Hard Knocks, he's changing plays and doing his thing. It's like if he did all of that and then 4 plays happen and then it's over, he sees it as a sign from the universe. I think that is a damn terrible way to go out of your NFL career. But to your point, if he signs up for this rehab, that is no fun, that is isolated, that is you are not traveling, you're not living your life, you're not doing any ayahuasca trips down there, you're doing this for the next 8 months. It's the same exact thing. I will have a level of respect and appreciation for his work ethic. I think that maybe I didn't have before, but also I think the world should recognize and appreciate as well, to your point of him being almost 40. Sorry.
I don't think anybody could fault him if he decided to just hang.
Nobody would. Nobody would. Nobody would fault him. Nobody
agreed.
would fault him.
You couldn't.
Only an indecent human being would fault him for that. But I will say this. He, being as great as he is, being a 4-time league MVP, being a Super Bowl champion, he's been accustomed to praise, the cheers. Y'all know this better than me. It's pretty hard to walk away from that cheers, that noise of the crowd. I would tell you that being in attendance last night and watching that roar from Jets fans and seeing the hope and expectations this city had and walking out there on 9/11 with that flag and everything that he experienced, because clearly it's not just about the money with him anymore.
No.
The bottom line is that this brother wanted to be a part of something special. Right. And New Yorkers, because I tell you what they're going to do right now, they're going to let Aaron Rodgers know, we will wait for you. Mm-hmm. And when they let him know that, I personally believe that's going to incentivize him to want to come back.
Right.
And I don't think he will retire. I'm going to flow with Pat. I don't think he's going out like this. I don't think he wants that to be his last memory.
Well, you remember he'll probably go to Dr. Neil Elatrosh, Curlin Joe Clinic. He did Kobe's surgery on his Achilles later in his career, and Kobe was able to come back. And so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could come back, but that's playing basketball and playing NFL football, quarterback at that position is something entirely different. But man, I am so hurt that this man Jet tenure for this year ended 4 plays. Yeah. 4 plays.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.